Despite reporting a whopping 33.9 billion in system sales at a growth rate of 9% in 2023, KFC is facing a surprising struggle right here on its home turf. From a flurry of negative customer feedback on platforms like Reddit and Quora to deeper business challenges, KFC's U.S. operations are no longer finger-lickin' good. So, what's going wrong? Today, I'll be breaking down the 8 big reasons why KFC is struggling in the United States. Despite the impressive looking numbers I rattled off earlier, KFC has a dark side to its American business. Sales in the U.S. market grew by just 2% last year, and the number of restaurants fell from 5,500 to about 4,200 in the past 2 decades. KFC lost its crown as the largest chicken chain in America to Chick-fil-A in 2013, and even Popeyes overtook it last year. But why is a company that was born here and once held an absolute monopoly on fried chicken failing? One big reason is competition. In 1970, the company had 3,400 franchises across the country and virtually no competition in the fried chicken industry. However, over the years, competitors like Chick-fil-A have surged ahead in market share with a ridiculously high 45.5% share, while KFC languishes at just 11.3%. But how was Chick-fil-A able to beat KFC at its own game? The answer lies in the company's franchising model. Franchising enables chains to collect regular royalty fees, typically amounting to 4 to 6% of sales, in addition to substantial upfront fees that can total tens of thousands of dollars. This means their revenues are more sustainable and operating costs are reduced, but it also eliminates control over quality. Like most other major fast food chains, 99% of all KFC stores today are franchised. However, even though KFC controls the menus, sets operating guidelines, and provides equipment and raw materials, the franchisees actually run the show. They decide the pricing and how much or how little staff to keep, and therein lies the problem. KFC has allowed quality to take a backseat while focusing on the lucrative external market. On the other hand, Chick-fil-A's success is largely due to the company's extremely selective choice of franchisees. A 2023 Business Insider report suggests that out of nearly 40,000 applicants, Chick-fil-A only selects 75 to 80 to become franchisees. Even Harvard has a higher acceptance rate than Chick-fil-A. Those selected few undergo a rigorous training program and face several restrictions on operating multiple franchises both within and outside of Chick-fil-A. This strategy gives Chick-fil-A a strong hold on quality, which is reflected in customer service rankings and sales per restaurant. In 2023, the average Chick-fil-A made $9.3 million, much higher than McDonald's $3.7 million and Taco Bell's $1.9 million. On a rough estimate, KFC's sales per restaurant would be around $1.2 million, which means a Chick-fil-A restaurant earns about 8 times as much as a KFC. In customer service rankings, Chick-fil-A routinely takes the number 1 spot. Unfortunately for KFC, one only has to visit message boards that are full of complaints on Yelp, Quora, and Reddit to understand the magnitude of customer dissatisfaction. And this brings me to KFC's second big problem: quality. As far back as 1978, Colonel Sanders came out criticizing the food of his own beloved former company, calling the gravy wallpaper paste and the crispy chicken a damn fried dough ball stuck on a piece of chicken. Unhappy customers agree. KFC's original chicken no longer has that same taste as the Colonel's fabled recipe with 11 original herbs and spices. Some believe that KFC's 2007 switch from lard to trans fat-free oil caused a downward spiral in taste, but taste is not the only problem. Unlike other fast food brands like McDonald's, which use pre-processed frozen foods, KFC employees cook the food themselves every day. While that seems like a good thing, the combination of undertrained, underpaid, and overworked staff has spelled disaster for the quality of the food being produced. And those same overworked staff also create another big problem: customer service. A 2022 survey found that Chick-fil-A ranked first in average total time by cars in line at drive-thrus, while KFC languished at the 8th position. In that same survey, Chick-fil-A was rated numero uno on customer satisfaction, with 88% of people rating its service friendly, while KFC was again ranked 8th at just 70%. But if quality and customer service are bad in the U.S., why is KFC growing in other markets? In 2013, KFC had nearly 14,000 locations, but a decade later, there are now over 30,000. U.S. stores have declined from 4,500 to about 4,300 in that same time period. And similarly, KFC U.S.'s sales contribution was 25% in 2013, but today it's dwindled down to just 15%. This is because KFC has used aggressive expansion into new markets like China and India to compensate for its failure in the United States. And whether introducing new menu items or focusing on expanding franchise outlets, top executives at Yum Brands, KFC's parent company, have simply been ignoring the mothership. Instead, the brand continues to use marketing efforts to sell the idea of a cheap meal for the whole family while sacrificing quality and customer service. And as far as marketing efforts are concerned, some of them have been outlandish, quite literally. In 2009, KFC sent a letter to the UN demanding that it recognize a country called Grilled Nation, which consisted of its 60 million customers. It even sent someone dressed as Colonel Sanders, who circumvented security and shook hands with some high-ranking UN personnel. But not content with demanding a separate country, KFC then set out in 2017 to conquer space as well. That year, in a separate attempt to gain some traction in the U.S. market for its newly launched grilled chicken sandwich, it decided to send a sandwich to outer space and back, spending millions of dollars in the process. Many other major marketing gaffes have also wasted money rather than giving the chicken chain a business boost. And that brings me to my last point about why KFC is failing in the U.S. Remember the customer complaints regarding moving from lard to trans fat-free oil that I talked about earlier? In 2006, KFC was actually sued for the massive amount of trans fat in its food, which led to its efforts to make its food healthier. Similarly, products like the Double Down sandwich that was introduced in 2010, which used fried chicken pieces instead of bread, were slammed for being super unhealthy. As the American public has grown increasingly health conscious, the company has struggled to retain its customer base. But what can KFC really do when the word fried is right there in the name? Do you think KFC can turn it around, or will we continue to see fewer of the Colonel's restaurants? Be sure to let us know in the comments down below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to get more awesome videos like this in your feed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.